I'm Aaron Suttles, Director of Content for Yea Alabama. A big week coming up for Yea Alabama and for the Alabama football team, as you have heard by now, undoubtedly. Next Saturday, Fan Day has returning to Bryant-Denny Stadium. It took a couple-year hiatus, but it is back. You get to go into Bryant-Denny, watch the outstanding men on the Alabama football team practice, and then if you're a member of Yea Alabama and you're a subscriber of Yea Alabama, you get to get in line and get an autograph, including from our guest tonight, who we'll introduce here in a second, Malachi Moore. So make sure you are familiar with what's going on if you're a member of Yea Alabama, or if you think you know someone who would love to get autograph of the team, make sure you're sending them the link to the website. Remember that all the subscriber funds that come in are going directly to the student athletes at the University of Alabama and supporting them. That's what this is all about, supporting the student athletes that bring you guys so much joy on Falls and the Saturday. So make sure that you're sharing with that. And remember, you can bring a child with you 12 and under to get an autograph. So follow the rules and make sure that you have everything that you need before you guys get to Bryant-Denny next Saturday. Also, make sure you're checking out our merch store. We got we ordered polos. We got T-shirts. We got hats. We got U-size T-shirts available. Make sure you're checking that out as well. And follow us on all our social media accounts. If you haven't, you're missing some great content. Today, we dropped a teaser video for Alabama offensive coordinator Tommy Rees. That video is up on the website. It's an exclusive interview with Coach Rees. As you know, Nick Saban does not let his coordinators speak very often, so we were very indebted to Coach Saban for letting us speak with Coach Rees, and then we'll have Coach Kevin Steele, the defensive coordinator, coming out next week. So make sure you're checking that out and telling your friends about that. But you can see all that, especially the teaser video, on all our socials, so make sure you're following them as well. And without further ado, we bring in a fan favorite. Since he was a freshman All-American at Alabama, he's from right outside Birmingham, Hewitt-Trussville, went to high school. We bring in Malachi Moore. Malachi, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So you've had to have known, I mean, obviously you're a local kid, but you broke out onto the scene that freshman year. You've known, I'm sure you've known you've been a fan favorite since then.
I would think so, just from my freshman year and things like that.
So because of that, can you go out at home when you go back home? I mean, are you constantly getting asked about the football team? Do you have any anonymity at all?
Sometimes it's like that. It just really depends on where I go. Like going to the grocery store, those is some of the times where I tend to bump into people that ask me about the team. But I don't have any problem with it. I just talk about it and just be cordial.
All right. So the temperature, I think, the last I looked this afternoon, the feels like temperature was 101. It's 97 degrees outside, and I can't help but notice you got a long sleeve jacket on. You're not shedding weight. So what's the story with the jacket?
All right, so in the spring, we have competition on special teams that we do, and we have 14 captains, and I was the team captain. And my team won the competition throughout the spring, so I got to pick out some stuff for the guys. I got the championship logo on the side. Just add a little fun to practice.
So tell me a little bit about special teams at Alabama. There's a certain attitude you got to have if you're on those units, and it takes a lot of pride. Those guys take a lot of pride in their performance.
Yeah, we look at it as like, for instance, for kickoff, it's like the first play on defense. So that's how we go about it, and we go about it just like it's offense or defense, and we know that we have to play good and on special teams for us to succeed on the field.
Just a little housekeeping note. You'll notice beneath the screen there, if you have a comment or question for Malachi that you didn't get in ahead of time, if you're joining us now, you can click on that and make sure you get your question in for Malachi. Let's go ahead and get to the subscriber questions. First up, we got Jimmy W. wants to know, how is Coach Steele's defense different from last year?
That's a great question. I think Coach Steele just brings back that old Alabama tough-nosed, hard-nosed defense, and he instills that into us every day. And, like, even today, like, he's just telling us be great, be a pro in what we do. And he just brings back that old mentality of the Alabama defense.
It seems like he's really well liked. I've talked to former players that, he's been across the Southeastern Conference. He's coached in a lot of different, in a lot of the Power 5 conferences. It just seems like the players or his former players really, really like him. What's it like playing for him?
It's really, really fun because he's a coach that's going to challenge you every day, and he's going to challenge you to be great, but he's also going to be one of your biggest cheerleaders and let you know when you do something good on the field like that. And he always has a good connection. He recruited me when he was at Auburn, and then when he came here, it's like we haven't even skipped a beat. And so he's just a fun guy to play for.
Let's grab another question here. This one comes from Tyler. What do you think about this year's secondary? Who stands out to you?
This year's secondary, I feel like we can be the best secondary in the country. I feel like all the guys are from this summer. We just finished our last day today. All the guys came in ready to work, and we got better each and every day, and that was our focus. And who stands out? Obviously Kool-Aid, Terrion, but really everybody. I've seen everybody improve this summer from Earl Little to Travian Amos to Jalen Key, Caleb Down, Christian Story. Really, the whole secondary has really grown this summer.
What's the attitude of that unit like this year?
We got a chip on our shoulder. I would say for sure, and so that's how we approach each and every day. That's what I preach to the guys in the position group, and that's what we try to go out there and do every day.
It seems like it takes a special competitor, a special sort of attitude to play in the secondary because you're only as good as your last play, but you sort of have to rely on that confidence, right?
Right, definitely. So we say play the next play. It doesn't matter what happened this play. You got to get up and play the next play, good or bad.
All right, we're going to grab a question here from Bill. He wants to know, how has Kevin Steele's return affected the attitude of our defense? Will we be more aggressive with more safety blitzes and put more pressure on the quarterbacks?
Yeah, I would say so. I would think Coach Steele is bringing I would say a new style of defense to us with more pressures and things like that. But he definitely got some stuff in his back pocket.
You mentioned now a couple times bringing that old Alabama attitude back.
Mm.
Describe to me what that is. What's that attitude?
Just relentless, just relentless hunters, killers. Like just looking back as I was in high school and just seeing the Alabama defense, how they played for all 60 minutes, all out, getting to the ball and getting turnovers, knocking the ball off people. That's what we want to bring back.
Yeah, and a lot of those guys come around the program from time to time. Do they mention that to you guys, the current crop of players of, hey, we need to get back to Alabama style football?
Yeah, they have mentioned it to us whenever they come around, but it's never been on no like trying us type stuff. It's always been like respectful, like coming to us and just letting us know from an old head perspective.
Right. Let's grab another question here. JB wants to know, what is a personal goal you plan to achieve in your final season at Alabama?
A personal goal, I would say I want to win a Jim Thorpe Award.
That's a big one.
Yeah, yeah.
Now we know if for those who don't know, the trophy case at Alabama is that you guys walk by every day is pretty
Right,
substantial, and you get to walk by that Jim Thorpe trophy.
right.
Do you look at it? Is that something that you sort of not dream, but something you're trying to materialize when you look at it?
Oh, definitely. I make it a point to look at it almost every day, just because it just gives me a vision to what I'm working for when I go out there and practice and in meetings and with everything I do.
So, what have you been focusing on this offseason? Is there any particular part of your game that you've wanted to sharpen up a little bit?
I would say like playing safety this summer. I feel like my reads have gotten better. Like I'm able to read route concepts a lot quicker and reading the quarterback's eyes and things like that. But I'm also learning my run fits, whether I'm at star or safety, and I think that's another thing that can just help elevate my game.
Yeah, if you're playing safety, you got to bring that shoulder pad, right? You got to be
Yeah,
physical in there.
definitely.
All right, let's grab another question here. This one coming to us from another one from JB. What's the best advice Coach Saban's given you so far?
That's the advice Coach Saban has given me. That's a great question because every time he talks, he always has a message for us. I would say that you always have to work. Nothing in life is gonna come easy. So when we have like hard days and stuff like that, and just the the fact of being disciplined, I think that's the biggest thing I have learned from Coach Saban is being disciplined in everything that you do because it carries over to every aspect of your life.
Yeah, because I mean, you know this better than anyone. Playing at Alabama is not easy. and it's not for everyone. I would
Right.
imagine the group of guys that took on that challenge coming to Alabama and then have stayed and stuck around like yourself, you sort of embrace that. You like the fact that Alabama's not for everyone, right?
Right, definitely. And we got this thing called B-Side 5. It's basically like our fraternity because we saying we're going out there and pledging every day, just like a fraternity was. And so that's with everybody that come through Bama, they B-Side 5 for life.
Right. Because I know a lot of other schools like to negative recruit Alabama that you don't want to go there. It's too much hard work. You're not going to have any fun.
Yeah.
The fun for you guys comes in the winning, right?
Right, definitely. Nobody has fun when they losing.
Good way to play it. All right, let's see. Will wants to know what is the worst Coach Saban has ever gotten on to you?
Oh, that's a great question. Okay, so
Clean it up.
my
We'll clean it up and make it PG-13.
yeah. So my freshman year, like it's the first day in shells, like the very first day in shells. Like I'm playing star, I really don't know what's going on. Like everything just moves so fast, and so like he's trying to tell me something, but like I talked to him. I'm like, okay, yes sir. I'm thinking he done because they said one defense, so I'm jogging off the field, and I get to the sideline, and they like Kyle, and they pointed. I just turn around, Cuz is blowing on me like through his hat, red face, everything, like, cause he thought I walked away from him, type deal. But he kicked me off the field and everything. Like he put me on the other field and everything. But I was like, oh man, I done messed up.
Now,
But nah, he called me up to his office and everything. We just talked about it. I told him what was the deal. We was cool after that.
yeah, so you're a veteran now, and you see those young guys coming in. And they're probably going to be in the same position where everything's flying by them a million miles an hour, and their heads swimming, and they're just trying to survive and practice. And there's going to come that time that Coach Saban gets on them.
Right.
What do you advise them to do in that moment?
I would advise him to just say yes, sir, and just because he's going to get onto you. You're a young player. You don't know, like you're going to mess up when you first get here. You're going to mess up. Just do it full speed. As long as you're doing something full speed, he might get onto you, but he's like, okay, at least he's going full speed instead of messing up and going slow.
Yeah. So it's one of those situations where you just have to sit there and sort of take it, right?
Right, right.
Like your parents screaming, yelling at you when
Right,
you're a kid.
because if he not screaming at you, that's not a good sign.
That's right. He didn't have any expectations of you. I think we got a live question here. Let's see. Chandler wants to know who's a player that's not as known right now that you think will have a breakout season on defense, or at least a role on defense.
Uh, I think Deontay Lawson is gonna have a big year for us playing linebacker. I think he's one of the guys. Like he's one of my closest teammates. We always talking and always around each other, and we continue to challenge each other each and every day and hold each other accountable. And I've just seen the work he's put in, from film study to recovery to his body and everything, and I feel like he's gonna have a great year.
Yeah, conscientious player from Mobile Christian. Did a lot of great things for Coach Cottrell down there. He's an excellent choice. All right, let's grab another question here. Bill B wants to know, we hear about the Alabama standard, and we know that standard is high. What will our defense do to raise the bar this season?
I feel like our defense, if we have relentless pursuit to the ball and we communicate, I feel like we can be one of the best defenses in the country, if not the best defense in the country, just because we have the players and talent to do that. But just our standard is like, we have goals every game, and we just try to practice those goals in practice. Like we make it a conscious effort to get to the ball in practice. I always remind people get to the ball at practice. I always communicating at practice. So everything really starts in practice.
Yeah, and last year I know there was a focus, and there's a focus every year on creating turnovers. And I know
Right.
last year they didn't come at the rate, maybe that Coach Saban wanted. But how much is getting to the ball in groups? How much has that contributed to turning teams over?
It contributes a lot because one person can get to the running back. He trying to stiff arm. Now he got the ball out like this. Now the other person can punch it out, or you gang tackling somebody, hold him up, you rip the ball out, and then even on the pass, you break on the ball, safety hits the receiver, ball pops up, pick. Just little things like that is what's gonna make the defense great.
One thing I think that's cool about you is you're so local that we've sort of gotten to know your parents a little bit. I know we got a question. You mentioned them earlier, your parents. I think we got a comment from Charles wants to know your parents are really visible at games and in their support of you. What's that been like to share your journey, in these 3-4 years at Alabama with them?
It's been real fun just because like they are very supportive of me and everything, and I really appreciate everything they do for me, and they always they always hear from me. I think they missed maybe like one game because it was at Arkansas my freshman year at 11 o'clock in the morning, and they would have to drive like 8 hours at night. But other than that, yeah, even then, like they was texting me, always checking up on me, making sure I'm good. So it's been fun to share this journey with them.
And for those that don't know, I believe I got this right. Your dad played basketball, right?
Yeah, he did at MTSU.
Yeah. So can you take him? Like you guys, if are you pulling up half court? Who's winning that game?
I'm winning. Like it was a point where he was winning just because I was younger. But as I got older, I could beat him.
Is it close or you skunking him?
Oh, it just depends on the game. It might be close one game, then it might do best 2 out of 3, and it might not be close the next game.
All right, I love it. Let's grab another question here from Collins. Wants to know, in your opinion, what is the biggest play you've made in your career? Is it the interception versus Auburn your freshman year? You had a strip fumble, I think, against Tennessee. What do you
Yeah.
think your favorite play is in your career so far?
I would say my interception versus Auburn, just because it's so crazy. I was talking to my teammate before the game, and I was showing him the play. And I'm like, fam, every time he stem like this, he runs out. Every time he stand like this, he run out. Like I'm gonna pick it. And so then, like in the game, sure enough, boom, he brushed stem. He ran out. I'm like, there you go. And then it was in the Iron Bowl too, so that was a great memory for me.
Yeah, that was in Bryant Denny. I believe that was Bo Nix, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You played him in high school?
No, I didn't get to play in my high school.
But I just remember there was a couple of freshmen. I remember that was a big turning point in that Iron Bowl. Let's grab another question here from Michael. Where do you see the team this year? SEC champs, let's go, and the Natty. Michael's got big hopes for this year, Malachi.
Oh yeah, we definitely had that too. That's our goal, and we're not satisfied until we get that.
How was it last year? Obviously, being so close to making the college football playoff last year. I don't have to remind you. I mean, you guys lost a couple games, but they were excruciating last-second losses, both of them on the road in tough venues. But when you didn't see your name on the 4 spot when they revealed the college football playoff bracket, what was the team's feeling?
I'm not gonna lie. I feel like the team we were embarrassed to a point just because that's not the Alabama standard. Like for my first 2 years, my first year I won it. Second year, I'm in the Natty. Then the third year, we're not even in it. Like that's not the Alabama standard. So we was a little pissed off about that. But again, we can't put that on nobody but ourselves. We just gotta play better.
How does that fuel the team, during those tough summer workouts and when it's hot outside and when you guys are dog tired? Do you think about moments like that to give you your reason why? This is my why.
Oh, definitely. And we have players that like such as myself who, when we get into those situations when we at team run and everybody dead tired, but we got 6 more to go. Like I'm always gonna remind them like what happened last year, what people saying to us to a certain point, and just putting that motivation just out there to keep us going.
I mean, that just naturally leads me to that's something leaders do, Malachi. Is that what you view yourself as on this year's team, one of the leaders?
Yeah, I do feel like I'm a leader on this team. I'm very vocal to my teammates, and I, s- I also talk to all of my teammates, just to build that connection with them. So, you lead people, different type of ways. Like somebody might accept you screaming and yelling at them, but he might not respond. Your other teammate might not respond good to that. So, getting to know all of my teammates has been a real emphasis for me this off season, and I feel like the team is a lot closer. Is really really close this year.
So you said being vocal, obviously your personality, being able to interact with different sorts of teammates from different backgrounds. What would you say your best leadership quality is?
I would say leading by example because I feel like anybody can go out there and say, do this, do that. Like, come on, like we got to do this X, Y, and Z. But if your actions don't follow that, then nobody's gonna listen to you or take you serious in what you're saying. So I feel like in order to be a leader, you have to be able to lead by example.
Let's grab another question here. This one coming in from Trey. What's the most exhausting part of the fourth quarter program? We hear about it, but we're just average people. We don't have to go through it. What's the hardest part?
I'm not gonna lie, like from the beginning, like when we start fourth quarter from the very beginning, like we do these wall swings and these wall runs. We do like 3 sets of those before we actually start running, and I be dead tired doing that, just the wall runs, and then after that, it's really a mental thing. Like your body's gonna be hurting, you're gonna be dead tired, but you got 24 sprints, 24 100, like what's to come. So like it's really a mental thing, and yeah, that's all I can say.
Do you count do you know in your head how many left, or do you just block it out?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm the one, like I have to count. Like I don't know how many we have, but I'm gonna keep count, because if I keep count and lose, it just feel like I'm running for no reason.
Right. All
Yeah.
right. Let's grab another question here. This one coming from Jimmy. What receivers have been the hardest to cover in practice?
That's a great question. I feel like all of our receivers is doing a great job this summer, but Isaiah Bond has definitely, I would say, elevated his game. His routes are looking a lot more crisp, and he's shown a lot of creativity in his routes. I would also say Jacory Brooks and Malik Benson as well as Kobe Prentice. Like all of our guys are looking good out there and there, and I've been seeing them working, like coming in on off day throwing, working on their routes on the jug machines, and I like what our receiving core is looking like.
All right, those are all the football ones we got. So we want to know more about Malachi. So we got some personality questions people want to know. Lauren
All
wants to
right,
know:
yeah.
are you a roller coaster fan? What's your favorite theme park?
I'm definitely a roller coaster fan. Like I think the last time I rode a roller coaster was like probably 2, 3 years ago, and so I've been saying, like, I've been wanting to go to Six Flags so bad. But my favorite ride, I would have to say the Goliath at Six Flags.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. May wants to know: what's your dream vacation? You can go. The globe is open to Malachi. You got your passport ready to go. You can go anywhere you want. Where are you going?
I would have to say, I don't know why. I want to go to Greece so bad and get in one of those little things on the wall where you can look out, come out from the room and see the water and everything. I think that would be fine.
That's a pretty good one, Malachi. I like that one. All right. Let's. Ashley wants to know: do you cook? And if so, what's your best dish?
Uh, I cook a little bit. I think I made some cilantro lime chicken one time and rice, and that was pretty fire.
All right. I like it. Women like men that can cook, Malachi. So
Yeah.
all right, we got two more. Let's go. Stephanie wants to know: this is Shark Week. Are you a fan? If not, what's your favorite animal?
I'm so glad that you said it's Shark Week, because I definitely have to start watching that. I didn't even know it was Shark Week, but yeah, I was a huge fan of Shark Week. Like when I was younger, like me and my brother would literally go to my cousin's house and just be over there watching Shark Week all day, for the whole week. But my favorite animal, I would have to say a tiger.
Okay. All right. Last one, I think. JB wants to know: who's your funniest teammate?
Funniest teammate. That's a great question, because we have a lot of personalities on the team. I would have to go Christian Story.
Really?
Yeah, he is one of the funniest people I ever met.
I'll have to ask him about that. All right.
Yeah.
He is Malachi Moore, a fan favorite. You guys know him and love him. Malachi, if you had one message you wanted to give to the people who support NIL, Yea Alabama subscribers, what would you tell them?
Just thank you for supporting us and everything that you do for us, and we really appreciate it.
Malachi, thanks so much for your time. We'll be rooting for you and pulling for you this season, and try to stay cool in these. What we got? We got fall camp or fall practice starting next week.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Next
Oh, we got
week,
one more. Michael wants to know: can you give us all a roll tide?
roll tide.
There we go. Malachi Moore, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks, Malachi.
Thank you.
And we just continue to have a blast here on Half Hour Huddle. Just getting to know these student athletes beyond the helmet or the football field or the basketball court or the gymnastics apparatus. They're just. I think we lose some respect sometimes that these are people with real personality. So being able to interact with them away from the competition field, which we all understand, that's why they're at the University of Alabama, is because they're great at their respective sport. But I hope what you've learned as we continue to do these every week in Half Hour Huddle is to get to know them beyond their sport, and I think that's what NIL is allowing us to do, is for them to capitalize on name, image, and likeness. But they're doing that through their personality and through all that. So thanks again to Malachi for joining us. We got fall camp starting next week. Can you believe it or not? Fall, I guess not really even close to fall, but that's what we call it. Fall practice starting next week. Games coming up not long after that. And remember, Fan Day coming up August 5th. You're a member of Yea Alabama. You should have gotten all the information that you'll need in terms of what the event will be. More information will follow. But remember, Fan Day's open to anybody. You can bring anyone to Fan Day, but to be able to access the autographs, you're going to need to be a Yea Alabama subscriber. So if you know your neighbor or coworker and you think they would love to take advantage of this, tell them about Yea Alabama and let them know that it's a heck of an opportunity to get to meet these young men and really before the real games start, we get to see them and interact with them on a little bit, and that's what's been so fun also about Half Hour Huddle. Remember to check us out on social media. We got a video out today on Alabama offensive coordinator Tommy Rees. I think it's been really popular, the teaser video we put out. Make sure you look at that. It's the first opportunity that any one of us have heard from Coach Rees. Nick Saban does not let his coordinators speak very often. We're so thankful to Coach Saban for giving us access to Coach Rees and Coach Steele. That video with Coach Steele will be released next week. But if you haven't seen it, go check it out. Follow us on social media. Check out all the merch that we have and tell somebody a bit about Yea Alabama. The future of Alabama athletics is in your hands. We appreciate it, and we will see you next week for Half Hour Huddle.